everyone. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. You know we love to help you boost your English skills, and well, today we've got something really special for you.
Yeah, something that can really transform the way you speak English.
Absolutely. We're talking about shadowing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a lot of people have maybe heard of this technique, but we're going to take a deep dive today, really unpack it.
Exactly.
So, what is it? And most importantly, how can you use it to start speaking more naturally, more confidently, and just sound more like a native speaker?
Right. Right to the point.
So let's just get right into it. What exactly is shadowing when we're talking about, improving your English?
Well, shadowing, it's actually a pretty simple idea. It's about listening to someone speaking English fluently, and then you basically become their echo. You try to repeat exactly what they're saying, like right as they're saying it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just about like parroting the words.
Yeah.
It's about trying to match their rhythm, their intonation, the way their voice goes up and down, the speed, everything.
So it's like I'm thinking about it, and I've definitely used this technique myself.
Yeah.
It's almost like you kind of forget about trying to understand every single word.
Yeah.
Like that's not the point at first, right?
Exactly.
It's about getting that overall sound.
Right. Initially, it's about the sound. It's about mimicking. Because think about it. You know how babies learn to speak?
Right.
They start by imitating sounds. They don't know what they mean yet. They just hear mom and dad making these noises and they try to copy them.
Right.
Shadowing is really tapping into that like natural human ability to imitate.
I love that. Going back to how we learned as kids, that makes a lot of sense. Now, for those listening, why is this so powerful for English learners? What are the real benefits of this?
Okay, so there's a bunch, but let's start with maybe the most immediate one. All right. You'll probably notice that you're suddenly way more aware of your pronunciation.
Oh.
Because when you're trying to keep up with a native speaker and match their sounds, any little difference between how you say something and how they say it, it really jumps out at you.
It's like instant feedback.
Exactly, like holding a mirror up to your own speech.
That's really cool.
Right. And then there's fluency.
Okay.
Shadowing, it kind of forces you to just speak. You don't have time to like overthink grammar rules or translate in your head.
Right.
You're just reacting, flowing with the audio, and that can lead to so much smoother, more natural sounding speech.
And I imagine that really helps with confidence too, right? Because
Yeah.
you're not overthinking it, you're just kind of letting it flow.
You got it. It breaks down those mental barriers.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think the biggest benefit is that shadowing really immerses you in the natural rhythm and intonation of English.
Yeah, that musicality you were talking about earlier.
Exactly. It's the secret sauce to sounding like a native speaker. You start to internalize how they stress words, how they link sounds together, the whole melody of their speech.
Okay, I am so on board.
Good.
Now, I want to make this practical. I want to get everyone listening involved here. So why don't we do like a super quick warm-up exercise?
Sounds fun.
So I'm going to say a short phrase, a really common English phrase, and I want you to just try to repeat it after me, okay?
Perfect. And remember, guys, this is just to get a feel for it.
Yeah.
Don't stress about getting it perfect.
Exactly. Don't worry about being perfect. Just focus on copying the sound, okay?
Have fun with it.
Here we go. Ready? Good morning.
I like it.
Okay, good. Let's try another one. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
This is my favorite book.
Oh, good choice.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Okay. How did that feel? Even those super simple phrases,
Yeah.
maybe you notice something interesting.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow, I actually put the emphasis on a different word.
Yeah. Or like the way your voice rose at the end of a question.
Exactly. Exactly. Or even just the pace. Was I speaking too fast? Too slow? That's okay.
It's all part of the process.
It is. So now let's step it up just a little bit. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, let's try some slightly longer sentences. So, same idea. I'll say the sentence and then I want you to try to repeat it. Shadow me. Okay.
Cool.
But this time, really pay attention not just to the words, but to how those words flow together.
Yeah, the linking, the rhythm, the little pauses.
Exactly. All those little nuances. Okay.
It's like a puzzle putting the sounds together.
It is. Okay. Here's our first one. I usually wake up at 7 in the morning.
Early bird.
Okay. Next one. Then I make a quick cup of coffee before work.
Essential.
All right, next one. My commute to the office takes about half an hour.
Not bad.
Sometimes I listen to podcasts to practice my English.
Well, clearly it's working.
Okay, let's try another one. During lunch, I often chat with coworkers about weekend plans.
Sounds fun.
It's a fun way to break up the day and learn new phrases.
Absolutely.
Okay, next. In the evening, I enjoy cooking a simple meal at home.
Me too.
After dinner, I might read a book or watch a show to unwind.
Sounds like a good evening. All right, and last one. I tried to go to bed by 10 so I get enough rest.
That's important.
That way I'm refreshed and ready for tomorrow.
Good plan.
All right. How are those longer sentences?
Yeah, how did those feel?
A little bit more challenging, maybe?
Yeah.
I know for me, when I first started shadowing, I was like, whoa, this is harder than it looks.
For a lot of people, it's like, those unstressed syllables?
Yeah.
Or how native speakers kind of blend words together.
Right.
That's where it gets tricky, but that's what shadowing helps you with.
It does. It really highlights those things that you would never notice otherwise.
Exactly.
Like, oh, wow, I'm saying that completely differently.
Yeah.
So now let's get practical. How can you use shadowing to actually improve your English, outside of this little exercise that we just did?
Okay, well, first and foremost, don't make it hard for yourself, especially when you're starting out.
Yeah, good point.
Pick audio that's, not too fast, not too complicated. Like if you're listening to someone talking about quantum physics.
Yeah, that's not going to...
And you have no clue what they're talking about. You're going to be so focused on understanding the content, you're not going to be able to focus on the sounds.
Right, the pronunciation.
Exactly. So choose something you're at least somewhat familiar with.
Right, okay.
And start small.
Yeah.
You don't need to shadow for like an hour straight.
Right.
5-10 minutes a day, that's all it takes to start seeing real results.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And you can always do short bursts, repeat a short segment a few times, really nail it down.
So short and focused is better than like a marathon session when you're first starting out.
Way better. Another tip, before you even start shadowing, just listen to the audio once or twice without repeating, without speaking at all.
Okay.
Just to get familiar with the speaker's voice, the rhythm, the flow,
So kind of get a sense of the landscape.
Exactly. Like, okay, what am I getting myself into? What's this voice like?
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then when you do start shadowing, it'll be so much easier. Now, here's a few things to avoid.
All right, lay it on me. I'm ready.
Don't try to shadow speakers who are talking super fast.
Okay, yeah, that can be really discouraging.
It can be, and it's not effective.
Right.
You'll just end up mumbling, and you won't actually learn anything.
Right.
So start slow, gradually increase the speed as you get better. Most audio players have speed controls now. You can use those too.
Well, that's a good tip.
Right. Another one is don't just repeat the words like a robot.
Okay.
Monotone, no expression.
Right.
Remember, shadowing is about the music of the language. Pay attention to the stress, which words the speaker emphasizes, the way their voice goes up and down. Copy that.
Yeah, it's like you're embodying that speaker almost.
Exactly.
You're channeling their energy.
That's it. And last but not least, record yourself.
Oh, yes.
It's the best way to know if you're actually improving.
Right.
You can listen back, compare yourself to the original speaker. You'll be surprised at what you hear.
And, you can also get feedback from other people.
Totally.
Like if you have an English teacher or a friend who's a native speaker, ask them to listen and give you some pointers.
That outside perspective can be so helpful.
It really can. Okay, so we've covered a lot here. We've talked about what shadowing is, why it's so awesome, and how to do it effectively, and the things to avoid. But I want to give everyone listening one more chance to actually try this out.
Okay, good idea.
So I'm going to read a slightly longer passage. It's just a little story. And I'm going to speak a little bit slower than I normally would, just so you can really focus on shadowing and really feel that flow.
Remember, don't worry if you stumble a bit. It's all about practice.
Exactly. Okay, here we go. I've always dreamed of traveling the world. Someday, I hope to visit Japan, explore ancient temples, and try authentic sushi. In the meantime, I'm saving up money by working part-time. Every morning, I remind myself to keep learning English so that I can communicate easily wherever I go.
Nicely done.
How is that? Longer passage, a little bit more challenging, but, hopefully you get a feel for how shadowing can really help you internalize the rhythm and flow of natural English speech.
You really start to absorb the language, not just the words, but like the soul of it,
I love that, the soul of the language.
It's true.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into shadowing, let's recap those key points.
Okay, shoot.
Start small. Don't be afraid to choose audio that's a little bit slower at first. Focus on the rhythm, the intonation.
The music.
The music, yes.
Yeah.
And practice consistently.
Even just a few minutes a day makes a huge difference.
And don't forget, record yourself, give feedback.
And be patient with yourself. It takes time.
It does. So here's a final thought to kind of leave you with.
All right, hit me.
Think back to what we just did. What felt the most challenging for you?
Yeah.
Was it the pronunciation of certain sounds?
Hmm.
Was it keeping up with the speed? Or maybe it was the intonation, the way my voice went up and down.
All important stuff.
Whatever it was, make a note of that. And really focus your shadowing practice on that specific thing.
Absolutely. That targeted practice is going to help you level up so much faster.
It will, and it will help you become a more confident, more fluent, more natural-sounding English speaker.
For sure.
So thanks for joining us for this deep dive into shadowing. We'll see you next time.
See you then. Bye.